Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh, I think I'll have an abortion today. That's just not true. With this condition, it was 100% incompatible with life. My baby did not have a functioning brain. And to this day, I still have the ultrasound pictures that I share with people so they can really, really see and understand what I was dealing with. Up until that point, I thought it was a perfectly healthy pregnancy. And so hearing that news was extremely devastating to me. What was more devastating is that my doctor gave me two choices. And one was to terminate the pregnancy, and two was to continue to carry the baby until I miscarried. And not knowing when I would miscarry, because these babies typically miscarry early in the pregnancy, my doctor said if I was to go to term, that it would be a stillbirth. And so the option that I chose immediately was to terminate the pregnancy. I asked the doctor, does that mean you admit me to the hospital? How do we now terminate the pregnancy? And the doctor said to me, well, in the state of Texas, it is considered an abortion, and I would have to refer you out to an abortion clinic. Here I was with a fetal anomaly, and yet I'm going through the same process that every person that has an abortion has to go through in the state of Texas. And I just couldn't believe that, because it's our choice. Now, in Florida, I did have to go through an ultrasound, but I did not have to look at the screen. And so when the doctor took the ultrasound, the first thing he said is, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. These cases are hard, and we're going to take care of you. And fortunately, I was able to have the abortion. I was still confused about why I had to go through all of that to have the abortion. Why did I have to fly to another state to get the care that I needed? I knew that continuing to carry this pregnancy would be emotionally and physically traumatic. Oftentimes you hear, yeah, you can have an abortion in the cases of rape and incest, but it's very little about a fetal anomaly, especially one that is 100% incompatible with life. And so that's how I really entered into the advocacy on abortion care, on women's rights, and just shared my story over and over again to give individuals a different perspective of what it's like to have an abortion late term.
The fact that the court has taken this up means that they might want to look at their own precedent and make some changes. And that's really scary, because what the question that the court is looking at is whether or not pre-viability abortion bans, so basically abortion bans before 24 to 28 weeks, which was promised by Roe, are constitutional. This is the moment that we've been warning about for a decade, and the moment we've been really worried about for so long.
No one knows what that person is going through when they have to make that decision. They could be in a domestic situation. They could be in situations where the doctor tells them, as the doctor told me, that this isn't a viable pregnancy. No one asks those questions. They just don't. After I spoke, there were a lot of people that came up to me and just commended me for my courage. And not only did they commend me for my courage, they also told me that they had a similar situation, but they told their friends and families that they had a miscarriage. So to me, that was confirmation that I wasn't alone.